sort of a freezer. They'll kill him.
Yes.
Oh, come on, don't keep me in suspense.
What if the very person you trusted most was forced into silence, trapped between love, loyalty, and survival? Episode 3 of Blood of My Blood left us with secrets ready to explode, relationships hanging by a thread, and a pregnancy that could change the fate of entire clans. But just when you think you know what's coming, the trailer for Episode 4 twists the story in a way that no one could have expected. Episode 3, titled A School of the Moon, ended on a shocking and heartbreaking note that still has fans debating what really happened behind closed doors. Julia's situation reached a breaking point, forcing her to make choices no woman should ever have to face. She wanted nothing more than to protect her unborn child and hold on to hope that Henry would find her. But as the walls closed in around her, Julia realized she could not depend on rescue alone. She had to save herself. The most unsettling part of the episode was Julia's visit to that dreaded room. Many viewers, myself included, hoped against hope that she would end up turning to Brian for help, because his heart, though heavy with his own burdens, has always carried compassion. But Julia, calculating, terrified, yet still brave, chose another path. Instead of placing the weight of fatherhood on Brian's shoulders, she went to the one man we all despise, the man who has already shown his willingness to exploit her vulnerability. It was a move that both disgusted and impressed fans. Disgusting, because no woman should have to endure such a sacrifice. Impressive, because Julia once again proved that she is willing to do anything to protect her child's future. And yet, even in the darkest shadows of this episode, there's a spark of possibility. Was her choice final? Or was it interrupted? Could something, or someone, have broken through the silence before the unthinkable happened? The series has mastered the art of dangling hope before us, making us question what truly takes place when the camera fades to black. While Julia's story captured the most attention, the rest of the episode was filled with family tensions and clan politics that cannot be ignored. The title The School of the Moon wasn't just poetic. It revealed the brutal culture of midnight raids, where young men proved their courage under the light of the moon. Both Colum and Dougal stepped into this test, only to fail spectacularly. For their father, this was proof that neither son was worthy of leadership. And yet, in the shadows, one person stood taller than anyone expected: Ellen. Ellen has quickly become one of the most fascinating characters in Blood of My Blood. She is cunning, strategic, and fiercely protective of her family's honor. While her brothers stumble, Ellen rises, not with brute strength, but with intelligence and subtle manipulation. She knows that alone, neither Colum nor Dougal can succeed, but together, their qualities could complement one another. And it's Ellen who secretly pulls the strings, handing her plans to Ned Gowen to ensure that every move plays out in her favor. If her father could see beyond tradition, Ellen would already be the rightful leader of her clan. But even Ellen's rise doesn't come without complications. Her relationship with Brian continues to simmer beneath the surface, with stolen glances and unspoken tension that fans are dying to see explored further. And then there's poor Murtagh. This younger version of the man we came to love in Outlander feels softer, more naive, more willing to be crushed by love than to fight for it. Is it his youth? Or is it the heartbreak of loving a woman who belongs to someone else? Brian's silence about his feelings for Ellen only deepens Murtagh's quiet suffering, leaving us all waiting for the inevitable confrontation that will shatter their bond. Beyond the personal drama, the episode also hinted at something many fans have been speculating about: Ned Gowen's quiet affection for Ellen. His loyalty and respect are clear, but is there more beneath the surface? The brothel scene left breadcrumbs that can't be ignored. Could Ned, knowing his status will never allow him to have Ellen, still harbor secret love for her? If so, how will that influence his decisions in the dangerous power games ahead? And then, of course, the final twist: the revelation that Mistress Porter has learned of Julia's pregnancy. Porter is a complicated figure, torn between loyalty and practicality, but she knows better than anyone what kind of man Simon is. For a maid, pregnancy without a husband could mean ruin. Porter's warning to Julia wasn't just advice, it was survival. And as Julia made her way into Simon's room, We were forced to watch her balance on the razor's edge between destruction and salvation. That ending left viewers desperate for answers. Did Julia make the ultimate sacrifice to protect her baby? Did someone intervene? Or was it already too late? The questions swirl endlessly, and the writers know exactly how to keep us on the hook. But if episode 3 gave us despair, the trailer for episode 4 promises something even more powerful: the return of hope, the clash of loyalty, and the reawakening of love. The trailer for episode 4, titled A Soldier's Heart, wastes no time in shifting our focus. Where episode 3 was drenched in clan politics and Julia's struggle for survival, episode 4 promises to bring Henry back into the spotlight. From the very first frame, we're thrown into a whirlwind of time, watching as Henry and Julia appear together in the 20th century. Henry's hand rests on Julia's belly, a quiet yet powerful symbol of the child she carries. Is this Claire? Or is this another mystery baby whose identity has yet to be revealed? That single moment ignites more questions than it answers, and fans are already tearing apart the possibilities. Henry's journey in this episode looks like it will be brutal. We already know from earlier episodes that his military leave was brief, and when he returned to Julia, their love was already threatened by war, duty, and separation. Now, the trailer suggests that Henry will be caught between his search for Julia and the darker responsibilities forced upon him by the Grants. At one point, he is seen collecting debts, a task soaked in violence and fear. The look in his eyes tells us everything. Henry hates what he's being asked to do. But this isn't just about pride or morality. If he refuses, he doesn't simply lose his position. He risks losing his head. Archbug's warning in the trailer is chilling. If you don't do the job, you'll be the one they come for. That sets the stage for Henry's inner conflict. On one side, he's a man of honor, carrying scars of war and battling the weight of his trauma. On the other, he's a man trapped by survival, forced to play the role of enforcer in a clan whose cruelty leaves no room for mercy. Could this be the moment where Henry's PTSD boils to the surface, his violent outbursts blending memories of battle with the new horrors he's forced to commit? Fans should be ready. Episode 4 might not just show us Henry's struggle. It might break him. But this episode isn't only Henry's story. Julia's path runs parallel, weaving closer and closer to the people who will define her fate. One of the most exciting moments in the trailer is Julia's first meeting with Ellen. Two women from completely different worlds, bound by secrets and resilience, finally coming face to face. This is history in the making, because through Ellen, Julia is drawn deeper into the Mackenzie orbit, and through Julia, Ellen sees a reflection of herself, a woman willing to risk everything to carve out her own destiny. The trailer teases that Julia and Brian will strike a deal. She will deliver a message from him to Ellen, and in return, Brian will help her escape. This single act ties Julia's survival directly to the tangled web of Mackenzie family politics. For Julia, it's a desperate gamble, but also a clever one. Aligning herself with Brian not only gives her hope of freedom, it puts her in the orbit of Ellen, who may become her most powerful ally. And yet, with every alliance comes danger. The closer Julia moves toward freedom, the greater the risk that Simon, or even Porter, will uncover her plan. Then there's the moment that had every fan leaning forward, the scene of Julia holding a cup. The trailer leaves it deliberately vague. Is it the drink Porter hinted at, a cruel concoction designed to end her pregnancy? Or is it something far less sinister, like water for a guest? The tension lies not in what we see, but in what we fear. If the writers are willing to push Julia into Simon's chamber, what else are they willing to do? Meanwhile, Ellen's story takes another sharp turn. A tense conversation with Colum makes it clear that she is being forced into a marriage with Malcolm Grant. For Ellen, this isn't just a union, it's a prison. She will be bound to another clan, expected to forget her loyalty to the Mackenzies and dedicate herself entirely to her new home. But if Colum thinks Ellen will meekly obey, he has underestimated her once again. Ellen has already shown us that she can maneuver behind the scenes better than anyone. Marriage to Malcolm may place her in the Grant's household, but it could also give her the power to manipulate both clans at once. Ellen's loyalty may be tested, but her intelligence makes her dangerous no matter where she stands. And then comes the violence. In one of the most haunting glimpses from the trailer, Henry is shown beating a man who owes the Grants money. The brutality of the scene is clear, but the pain on Henry's face is what makes it unforgettable. He doesn't want to hurt this man, but survival leaves him no choice. Each strike is not just against his victim. It's against himself, against the part of Henry that once believed in honor and mercy. Could this be the beginning of his downfall, or the moment that pushes him closer to Julia as they both fight for a future they can barely imagine? The trailer's final moments pull us into pure emotion. Julia, her voice trembling with both exhaustion and determination, tells Henry they must find hope wherever they can. It's a plea, a promise, and perhaps even a prophecy. As she touches her belly, the weight of that single word, hope, lingers in the air. Fans are already speculating that the child might literally carry that name, a living symbol of survival and love in the midst of despair. But the question remains, is this child someone we already know in the larger Outlander universe? Or is it a new character whose story will ripple forward into the future? For now, all we can do is wait, debate, and brace ourselves. Episode 3 gave us fear, heartbreak, and impossible choices. Episode 4 promises something even more explosive, love tested, loyalties broken, and survival pushed to its absolute limit. And if there's one thing we've learned from Blood of My Blood, it's this. Just when you think you've guessed the ending, the story will twist in a direction you never saw coming.